Hello everyone, welcome back to Doll Talk with your host Scorcher Toys at anymoon.com. Today we are joined by Minmei from startup toy company KitzConcept. This is the first release in KitzConcept's KC Collectible action figure line. Minmei debuted in September 2018 with a retail of approximately $59.99 US dollars. I get all my Robotech toys from Big Bad Toy Store. Click the link in the comments below to head on over and browse their full selection. Clicking through on that link helps me continue to be able to bring you more great content. Minmei arrives in a two-tone shipper box with some fun art of her from every angle. Opening that box reveals a more standard toy packaging adorned by some nice artwork with a large window revealing the goods within. Sliding out her plastic tray, you'll find the Minmei toy surrounded by a smaller Minmei doll, two alternate faces winking and singing, 5 pairs of hands. There's the V, there's pointing, there's a gripping a mic and saluting, there's pointing and waving, and there's fists. There's a microphone. A second tray includes a display stand consisting of a base, an arm, and adapter, and sandwiched between those two trays, you'll find a page of instructions.
This toy does come with several faces. Swapping out the face is a pretty simple process. We're just going to pull forward on her hair, which unpegs like so, and then we're going to pull forward on her face, which then reveals the ball that the face will go on. Now, here is the singing face, and we can just peg that in. A little criticism while we're up close and personal with the face. I got to make sure I'm pegging in there. The singing face and the winking face, which is the other option we can look at, the cheeks don't move at all from the original face. So it's hard to really tell from any sort of distance, other than the wink, which obviously closes a very large eye, that anything has changed at all. So then we can just put that back on her hair, and now she is singing, which again is not dramatically different from how she looked before she was singing. So that is how you do the face swaps. And one other thing, if you're a really strict line art person, you want this to be the best possible Minmei representation, she's pretty convincing. The hair in Force of Arms covers her ears, and it's not these tight spirals. This actually looks like some flashback 2012 hair. It should be more of a Farrah Fawcett look, but I have no idea how you could really do that with plastic. And then the other thing is her nose looks a little low to me. If her nose was a little more high on the face, I think it would be a little bit better representation of Minmei. Singing face is on the toy, so now I'm going to go ahead and take the microphone and the microphone holding hand and put that on there. So all I have to do is hold that bracelet, because that is a separate piece that will fall off, and then gently pry away and install the new hand. Now the hands are a bit of a mixed bag. One, I had a hand that didn't really plug back in. So that hand is now in place, which is great. But you do get the little victory sign or piece maybe. You get these hands, which I'm not really sure what exactly they're trying to be. I think they might be meant to hold the doll, which is a cool little accessory. But either that, or it looks like she's measuring something that's small, or she's about to pinch attack somebody. So that's kind of a weird hand. And to make it even more weird, they gave you a second one, which is almost the same thing. So I'm not really sure what they were trying to accomplish with these hands. I think we probably could have gotten some better ones than these. I have noticed that Minmei is holding the microphone in her left hand, and that is true of the Force of Arms episode, but it would be nice if they had included a right hand that could hold the microphone as well, since people are going to be playing with it and they might want to do that. Was Minmei left-handed? I don't remember, so that's something for you guys to leave a comment about. Here is the ghastly Harmony Gold Minmei figure. Now, Matchbox never actually released a Minmei figure, probably because they came up with this sculpt and said, no, we cannot force that upon humanity. But Harmony Gold had no quibbles about that, and so here we are, and you can see we have come quite a long way, and you don't really need to consider this figure anymore anyways, because even if you don't like what KitzConcept is offering here, you now have a Toynami slightly larger scale figure that you could choose from. Now, what about SH Figuarts figures from Bandai? You can see it scales very well. You can also see Minmei is a little bit more old school in her attire to the quite glitzy offerings from Macross Frontier or Macross Delta, but she does fit right in height-wise and also accessory-wise. Really, everything KitzConcept has done here, come back Cheryl, come back, is totally on par with what Bandai does with their SH Figuarts figures. And very much seems inspired by what Bandai does with their SH Figuarts figures. So given that KitzConcept is a much smaller, much newer company, I would say that's a pretty impressive feat. Let's talk about articulation. You know that the head is on a ball joint already, and it can rock back and forth, it can twist, it can look down. It can't really look up because then the hair hits the shoulders. The shoulders have these sleeves around them. That's going to limit things just a little bit, but you can get the arm out and you can spin it around. Then you've got the elbow joint. You can come out and you can twist at the elbow joint as well. And then you've seen the ball joints at the hand and what you can do with that. Now, I will say that Bandai does have a bit more dynamic shoulder joint that they use. Maybe not quite as attractive, but it gives you the ability to pivot the shoulder forward. And so you get a much larger range of motion with the SH Figuarts figures than you are getting with Minmei. But Minmei certainly is serviceable as she is. She also has a upper body joint that allows you to twist her at the torso and come forward and back. So that's good to see. Coming down, we do have the skirt, which is bendable, but it's not going to let you get too much range of movement with the legs. So the legs do offer a twist at the hip. You can see inside, I guess an NSFW on this review now. You can twist the legs nicely. You can bring them back and forward, but you hit that skirt and you can bring them out and you'll hit that skirt again. You do have a knee joint that lets you get this far with it. All of the twisting, again, happening at the hip. And then you have your ankle joint, which I imagine you can twist at too. There you go. You can twist at the ankle as well. So again, you're going to want to use that display stand to do pretty much any pose, because trying to get her to stand on her own will be frustrating otherwise. But that should give you a good idea of your range of movement. I've heard this toy referred to as a 6-inch toy. I've heard it referred to as a 1/12 scale toy, and the truth is it's 14.5 centimeters tall, which makes it a little smaller than 6 inches and a little bit larger than 1/12 scale. But if you give an allowance for her heels and maybe some poofy hair, it certainly gets you close enough, and you've already seen that it pairs pretty well with the SH Figuarts figures, if not a tiny bit on the large side. So if you've been waiting for Bandai to drop an SH Figuarts Minmei, you haven't had that itch scratched, I think KitzConcept has come up with a worthy replacement for you here. One that'll fit right in and comes right out of the TV show. So I think it's good in that respect. Now, I'm normally more of a mecha guy, so what really excites me more is how well it pairs with Riobots, or Sentinel's Riobot ride armor figures. I had a lot of fun playing with Minmei and the stick. We'll call him Scott for this review. So that to me added a lot of play value and something that makes me excited going forward as they release Rick Hunter and hopefully someday even get to the new gen characters in their civvy clothes, because man, that would really work well with those ride armors. So, and hey, if they did like a Breetai figure, that might work really well with your High Metal R figure. So things to consider going down the road. If you're into action figures, I didn't find any big issues with this. So it's easy for me to say, if you're okay with the price point, you should go ahead and hunt it down. Check out anymoon.com for my full article, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.